say about the opinion prison?
Ooh, good one.
What
I've been stuck there before, and that's so hindering.
what do you have to say about the opinion prison? Say
Oh,
about
the opinion prison. That it takes a lot of energy to be thinking about how other people are viewing you. And really, the only opinion that really matters is what you think about yourself. And this is something we make clear in preschool, because kids are always like, well, this person and da da da. Um,
so what do you mean make clear in preschool? Like it's
oh,
something that we're trained into, in other words,
well, I
and
just think that
worrying about others' opinions.
I think as once you start, well, kids like up until a certain age probably don't have that consciousness, but once they get that consciousness about the self-consciousness about
Self,
what how other people are viewing them,
yeah,
um, it really takes a lot of your energy. And the truth or the reality is that um we only have complete control over how we feel about ourselves. And
exactly.
that's bringing the power and responsibility, not only the power but the responsibility to ourselves again. And I think that's the basis of this work.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, yeah, and I think it's really common. I know I personally suffered from that for a very long time, like through childhood and
I
through
think
my
everyone does.
early adulthood. Like, what would they think?
I
I mean,
think that's one of the major things that holds us back.
yes, it does. It's, fear of what others may think, fear of what others may say, fear out loud or behind our back, what they may say. So, because we're worried, I guess we're looking for approval, right? But it often stops us from being genuine. So we ultimately live in the jail of other people's opinions. So um, when I was able to take myself out of that jail of other people's opinions, and I have, you know, we see this even on social media. Someone can just come in with a cruel remark or an offhand remark and the person can be completely thrown off because whatever. We've all seen them. Oh,
She's
hello.
okay. I took the cell phone off out of her hands and she's like retaliating. I'm listening though. I'm hearing you and I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I would say one of the best things that we can do for our authentic alignment is to release ourselves from that opinion prison. And so the way to do that, there are practices and way to do that. I mean, first of all, just stop giving it about what people
Yes.
think and just live. And oftentimes that comes with wisdom. Um,
Or
so
age. Well,
we're
age and wisdom.
yeah.
Because the two don't, I
Wisdom,
forgot that
just because you
two
have
don't.
age doesn't give you wisdom, but but
Exactly.
many times you can be young and have wisdom. Um, so one of the processes that I teach is getting out of the jail of other people's opinions. Um, so it is finding something that feels very truthful for you that maybe you don't share with the world. And it's something that you love to do or something that you wish you could do or that you would do, but you don't for fear of what other people would think. And then it can be a daunting process because you have to step in and do that thing. Okay. You have to,
It's like a vulnerability,
mhm.
a
You're
stepping into
putting,
that vulnerability.
yes, stepping into the vulnerability. So it's like if I say in the book, if something just very simple is like if you would love to go out in the park on a spring day and meditate in the spring in the park, let's wherever, and in public, or just do yoga class. And I remember years ago I was probably in my early 20s, and I remember seeing this man on the beach doing yoga. This was a long time ago. And he just didn't care. And I was so struck by he didn't get, and back then yoga was not what it is today. Yoga was, people didn't really know what yoga was. I knew what yoga was because I had lived in an ashram and I had a practice. And he was an older man and he would go and do these asanas in front of everybody, and people of course would be staring. And I always thought that was so brave. So the process is to go to the park and meditate on a spring day. Go to the beach and do yoga in front of everybody. Go sing, go do something that pulls you out of your comfort zone. And when the feeling of discomfort arises within you, when you become, what are they thinking? Or I can't do this, I feel embarrassed, or whatever, all the discomfort that you may feel, the first thing you do is recognize the discomfort, take a deep breath, exhale, and then we do this we envision that discomfort, those other people's opinions passing over our head like clouds and disappearing into the distance. Just allow it you have to move through the feeling of discomfort. And then when you visualize the opinions of other people disappearing into the distance, and bring yourself back to your truth, and you continue doing this. And sometimes you have to continue doing it a few times. Like it might rise up in you a few times, but you have to put yourself in that place of discomfort, and then you have to release it, what other people's opinions are. So I teach this to continue to do this anytime it arises. What are other people thinking? I want to do something. I want to live in my truth, but what are other people thinking? People are always going to think something. People are always going to say something. There's always going to be some sort of criticism. But in order for us to step into our divine feminine and to embody goddess, we have to live in our truth. We have to live in alignment with our authenticity. We have to be able to step out and do what we want. And sometimes it's like the butterfly. There's discomfort as the butterfly is pushing its way out of the cocoon. And then eventually the wings open and it can fly away. So
Beautiful.
so this process is an important process for doing that, to get out of the jail of other people's opinions.
Yes, yes.
So I don't know, have you had any experience of that yourself, or?
Definitely. I mean, I don't know very many people who haven't had that experience. This like fear of tomato throwing, like that you're gonna do something and people aren't gonna like it. But I think that I don't know if I was where I got it, but just this idea that like if you're doing something valuable, not everyone is gonna, it's gonna shake some people up.
Yeah, it's gonna a
It
lot of
might be
people may not like it. Yeah,
right. It might trigger other people, but that just tells you that you're doing something meaningful and worthwhile because, yeah, because we're all so unique,
they're also
Our uniqueness might be the exact thing that's just going to be like, oh, like too much for somebody. Um,
absolutely, absolutely. That's a wisdom right there that you're speaking, definitely. And so when we can realize that and be in our own truth, this is where our power lies. And we're giving what we have to give. We're singing what we have to sing. We're moving our body in the way we have to move it. We're dancing the way we want to dance. And we're just living in our authentic self. And then we're
right.
embodying my feminine,
And that
right?
vulnerability is our strength, That was like Brene Brown. I think she said that.
Oh,
Um,
that's beautiful.
but if we don't step into that place of vulnerability, we're not going to get to our next level.
Wow. That's true. That's true.
And I don't want it, like it's really what is it? There was a quote. I'm forgetting all these quotes because I my brain feels like errand brain, when you've gone ran too many errands and you just come home and you're like, well, I can't really think straight anymore. But what I was gonna say is Oh gosh, I lost it. Let it come back to me. Let it come back.
You're talking about
Um,
authenticity, living in your authenticity and your vulnerability.
okay, well, maybe if you talk a little bit, it'll come back.
Well, I mean, this is a really simple and short one. It was just a, a process for getting out of the jail of other people's opinions. And uh, it's an important process that we can do at any time, at any moment. And that's a visualization that you can use. Like, even if it wasn't something like meditating in the park, if it was, your mother or your partner or something having disapproval of some behavior, you can still in that moment take a deep breath, exhale, visualize their disappointment or their judgment or their opinion drifting away into the distance over the horizon and disappearing. So
I
it's
love
simple.
that because also I love that because it's like making space for that disapproval. And that's okay too. You know?
Yes,
Like we
yes,
don't have to push away that. It's just like emotions, right? We don't have to push away the anger. We make space for it. We allow it and then it moves through.
yes, yeah,
I I
exactly.
love I love this practice that you're bringing, that you're sharing,
Yeah, it's
because
yeah,
it's like it's really allowing and making it okay. Not everyone is going to or has to like what we do.
yeah, yeah. We can,
And we have to do it anyway because that's what we came here to do.
yeah, good point. Do it
I know
and
what I was gonna.
do it
What was that?
anyway. Do it
Yes, do
anyway.
it
So
anyway.
important. Yeah,
Do it anyway. I know what I was gonna say. It was like it hurts too much not to share our truth. There is a point where it's gonna hurt you too much to stay in that prison. And
uh,
it's like there's no other choice.
that
There's no
is
other choice.
a beautiful, such a beautiful wisdom.
Oh,
That's so
this is
beautiful. It'll hurt too much to remain in the prison, for sure.
oh,
Oh my
okay.
goodness. Okay, okay. All right, we'll go. I'm gonna run to Namaskaram, Aloha,
Namaste.
and Namaste. Namaste.
Oh, can you namaste, Auntie? Yay.
Namaste. We'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you so much, G. Loved
And
this talk.
all right, aloha. Bye.
Aloha. Bye.